the live stream. Put the link in the group now tomorrow. You could get the link there. Link for the Zoom. Mara, did you get in touch with Nadine?
I haven't gotten any response from Nadine as yet. Just yet, Dr. Thomas.
Okay.
For those of you who are here, we just want to welcome you so far. We're just going to hold off before we start. If you could just send the invite out to your friends and family so that they'll join the seminar, that would be great.
What he said, my look, what he said, my top.
Welcome everyone. We'll get started in a bit. Just send out the link to your family and friends in the meantime.
Tamara, can you send me the link in the group? I'm trying to send it, but it's not going through. I need a link in the group.
Okay, no problem. Let me try to get that.
Did you send it, Tamara? I'm not seeing it.
Just give me a sec, Doc. I just need to transfer it over. Second.
Okay. Okay, I see it in the group now. We can get our first speaker on.
Do you want us to go ahead and start now, Dr. Thomas, with Sarah and so forth?
Yes, they could go ahead now. Nadine is on.
Okay. Okay, guys, welcome. Those of you who are here, persons will continue to join. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and pray. Let's pray. Father in heaven, we just want to thank you for this wonderful learning adventure that we have with our Be Healthy Family group. I pray that we'll be inspired and edified by tonight's content, and that we'll get this opportunity to be more informed about health in this particular way of memory as well as aging. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Just before we begin, guys, just some housekeeping matters. For tonight, we just want to ask you to, once the speakers are talking, if you could just turn off your mic, that would be very helpful. And at this time, I'm going to hand over to Nadine. Nadine, are you here?
Okay, Tamara, seems you have to go ahead.
Okay, no problem. So for our first speaker tonight, we're actually going to have Dr. Sheikh Emmanuel. Just a little bit about her.
Thanks for the donut.
Is she on us yet?
No, and I think they got enough shop to make sure the window.
Look, shops.
It's a conference on first.
Dr. Thomas, I'm
Oh,
actually
yeah,
not
sure.
seeing Emmanuel as yet. Would you
Well,
like to
sure.
go first?
I want to get you in before.
I'll
you
just
share
do
with
some
you.
other housekeeping.
Present.
Okay.
Let's give her another couple of minutes.
Okay, no problem.
Was it me?
Me, whatever you want.
So made up.
Someone at the top.
Okay, you could go ahead and introduce me since I'm not seeing her as yet.
Okay, no problem. I can do that. Just in case you're not familiar with Dr. Thomas and you were invited by a friend, it is my pleasure to introduce him to you. So Dr. Thomas is a highly accomplished physician and surgeon and a certified functional medicine practitioner, and he'll tell you a little bit about what that means. He's a motivational speaker who has inspired thousands of young people across the world. Dr. Thomas has appeared on various television and radio programs and has written and contributed to over 100 newspaper and magazine articles regarding health. He's the founder of Thomas Medical Center and the founder of this Be Healthy Family group, which has member representative in 23 countries. And I think that is just amazing. He has conducted over 100 free health clinics over the past 20 years and is committed to helping the common man, whoever you are, whether you are another doctor or the man on the corner. He wants you to be educated in health education. He wants you to be informed about that. That's his commitment and his passion. and he loves teaching. And this tonight is going to speak to us on the topic of looking and feeling younger. Dr. Thomas, over to you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to have you here on YouTube and on Zoom. Tonight, we're in for a treat. We're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects. It has been a total, amazing journey for me to pursue longevity, to pursue trying to reverse the aging process, trying to feel younger and get fitter as I get older. So it's absolutely pleasurable for me to share with you what I've been doing, what I've learned, and hopefully there is something in it that you can incorporate into your day-to-day life so you can benefit from the wonderful things that I'm benefiting from. I'm going to go a little deeper than most people might be comfortable with tonight. I'm going to go deep into some biochemistry and some cutting-edge science. I'm going to mention some terminologies that you've never heard of. Don't be scared. I plan to simplify it as much as I can so that at the end of it, it does make sense. But I know the audience is quite mixed. There are some persons who just want to know what to eat. Some persons want to know why they should eat it. And there are some persons who are academics who are joining and want to know a little bit about the science behind these anti-aging trends. And so I've prepared a mixed presentation to satisfy every type of taste bud that is on the Zoom tonight. And so just come along with me. I'll try and make it as simple as possible. Let me try and get my presentation up here. Just give me a second. There are some people waiting to join. Let me see if I can get my presentation up on my Canva here, so you all can enjoy the beautiful slides that I prepared. No, it was maybe 10, 12 years ago that I, in browsing internet, I met up on an amazing lady. Never met her in person, still haven't, but her story has inspired me so much. And then maybe last year I met an amazing gentleman. He might join tonight and might be surprised to hear me calling his name. And I'm gonna tell you their stories up front and why I'm so excited and inspired about this particular topic. Let me just get my slide up so you all can see it on YouTube. All right, so hold on, let me get it up. All right, so I'm gonna be sharing screen. So in a sec, you should have seen my screen. So let me know when you can see my screen. Okay, you should see a screen saying looking good, living, well, looking good, feeling young. Can you see that screen? Somebody say yes.
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 Awesome. Okay, so who's ready to look good and feel young tonight? Somebody say yes.
Me.
I'm ready.
Me. I am.
All right. So let me admit some more people to the room. Okay, so let's go. All right, so on the screen, you will see Annette Larkins, who is the lady I speak of. Maybe 12 years ago, browsing internet, I just came across this amazing lady who looked like she was in her 30s, being all of 74 years old. So I'm sure she's 80 odd now. And her secret was that she deliberately set out to live long and look young. And her secret, as you can see, no meat, no dairy, no eggs, just raw fruits and vegetables, a gallon of distilled water per day, which she collects by rain from home, and just general relaxation. And she is just one of many persons who actually, have been able to accomplish something like this. I am quite fortunate to work in an era where I have many elderly persons who live well into their 9th and 10th decade of life, enjoying great health. Just a few weeks ago, I went to the birthday party of a centenarian, and she absolutely is, just beaming with health and beaming with, enthusiasm, hoping to live beyond 100. And I want to be like her. I don't want to be looking old when I get old. Annette Larkins is married, and this is her husband beside her, who did not follow her lifestyle. He decided to eat whatever he liked. And so in his 70s, you can see he has totally gray hair. He looks old and he's overweight. And whenever they go out together, people are asking, is that your daughter? Is that your granddaughter? So this is something that, you can see two people living in the same house, following two different lifestyles, and the outcomes could not be more divergent. So, guys, it's possible. And if you start from now, certainly you can start seeing the benefits. Let me get right into the presentation. There's a few slides. Another person I'll mention tonight is Ken Brown. I met Ken a year ago. And Ken, when I first met him on the phone, I thought he was somebody in his 40s or 50s. His voice sounded strong. He was very knowledgeable. His wit was very quick. He was very funny, lighthearted. When I met him, this was this old guy I saw. But having met him and spent some time with him, I realized that Ken was very fit, very flexible. He doesn't follow a specific diet, but he exercises and is very physically active. He's broken bones in his body maybe 6 or 7 times. He's an elite athlete. People, please to mute your mic as you enter the room. Okay. So Ken, despite his age, was more flexible than me, and was able to do things with his body that I couldn't do when we tried a few exercises together. So Ken is another inspiration for me in terms of a person who has followed that path of extreme physical activity and is benefiting in terms of cognition, memory, just youthfulness, and is traveling the world in his 70s, teaching doctors in every corner of the world. And he has taught me, and I totally admire and look up to this man. So these are my two inspirations, guys. So there are a number of theories that we have come up with to try to explain why people get old, why they get wrinkles and all of these things. There are so many persons whose mics are open. Nadia, your mic is open. Nadia, your mic is open. You need to mute. Okay, I'm gonna remove her. All right. So some of the theories are on screen, and somebody could keep a little time for me. Tell me when 20 minutes have elapsed, and then I'll stop. So we have the free radical theory of aging, the sirtuin theory of aging. We'll talk about telomeres. We have programmed longevity, the error theory, neuroendocrine hypothesis, cross-link theory, and stem cell theory are just a few of many theories to explain why we age and what we can do to slow the process down and even reverse it. Now, time will not allow me to go into all the theories, and so I'll look at the first 3, but you will not be missing much, because when it comes down to the substance of it, the points of intervention, meaning what you do individually, basically is similar for all the theories. And so there's a lot of cross-linking. Now, the first one I'm going to talk about is the free radical theory, which, many of you who are in science may have heard about this, that there are these molecules, reactive oxygen species for the science-minded that float around in our bodies, and they are created on a daily basis as a result of a number of things. And on screen, you can see the number of different things that can cause free radicals to develop in your body. One is UV light exposure to sunlight in excess, certainly air pollution, which you can't escape from. If you live in a city, driving a car, traveling an airplane, you go anywhere at all except out of your cave, you will experience air pollution. And even your cave, the polluted air will find you there. Radiation, if you're exposed to X-rays and CT scans, you travel through airport scanners and so on, these things will cause DNA damage and lead to free radical formation. Certainly cigarette smoking, the inflammation which may come in the form of diet. And there are lots of inflammatory foods like fried and barbecued, and just high fat processed foods will cause free radicals. And these free radicals are thought to damage your DNA. That's what houses your genes. And as the damage accumulate over time, that leads to the symptoms of aging, the wrinkles, the changes in your muscle mass, the energy level changes, the fatigue, the brain fog, the Alzheimer's. And here are a number of foods that we know that are free radical forming foods. So these are foods that we've been saying to you guys. Don't eat, high omega-6 foods. Don't eat fried and, these processed foods, fast foods. So it's the same thing you're hearing again. These things, we know that they accelerate the aging process. And so to slow down aging, it's very simple. You want to have foods that are going to give your body antioxidants that destroy free radicals. So avocado, for example, is amazing to help with collagen formation in your skin, and oil especially will make your skin look younger for longer. Aloe vera, which I just released a video on that, is amazing for its moisturizing properties. Turmeric is an amazing antioxidant. So is citrus fruits, soursop, green tea. These are a few foods that we've been talking about. Again, you want to go for color in food, usually the sign of what antioxidant they contain. And the more colored foods you have, the more antioxidant you.
You're muted, Doc.
Dr. Thomas, your connection is not that great. You're not hearing you.
Sorry about that, guys. They're hearing me now? Yes? I muted myself,
Yes.
apparently.
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
So vitamin A, C, and E are the antioxidants that are gonna be providing most of your antioxidant benefits, meaning they get rid of free radicals and so slow the aging process down. So you want to make sure that you're getting adequate amount of these. You're gonna find in your vegetables and fruits, your orange and yellow foods, and in your healthy plant and animal oils. Certainly, there are supplements that you could consider, and you've heard me talk about methylene blue. Some of you have heard me talk about Love Biome group of products, and the new and really rising factor 4 is another, just a couple antioxidant supplements that I have been introduced and I've been using myself, and I can help you with those. Now, I'm gonna step over to another anti-aging theory to help you guys appreciate how deep this anti-aging research has gone. And the whole idea of sirtuins has been around for maybe 10 years. Dr. David Sinclair of Harvard is the one who's pioneering most of the research. He's kind of out on a limb on his own right now. Not many people in the scientific community believe in this theory, but he's been doing a lot of research with rats and so on, and now human trials to prove that, in fact, there are these group of genes, 7 genes, he call them sirtuins, and these genes control proteins which actually repair and control DNA expression. And the theory is that when these sirtuin pathways are damaged, your DNA gets damaged faster and you age faster. And he's actually been able to damage sirtuin pathways in rat and accelerate aging and then repair them and actually reverse the aging process. So that's been proven in a lab. And so we are doing human trials now on this. Now, these sirtuins, they actually depend on a particular molecule in your body called NAD. And we find that as you get older, your NAD levels, that is your nicotine adenine dinucleotide, do you remember that? These levels will fall as you age, and so you have less sirtuins, and so your damage to your DNA in various forms, including your mitochondrial DNA, will accumulate. And what he's done, he's found that there are things that you can do to increase your NAD levels. And guys, can you believe that it's been things that we've been doing, some of them. So one of the most profound ways to increase NAD levels is to actually fast. All of these things are considered stressors on your body. And the theory is that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So exposing your body to varying degrees of stress will actually increase your NAD levels and ramp up your sirtuin pathways. So fasting, actually, when you stop eating for maybe 18 hours a day, maybe a day a week, maybe 3 days, maybe 7 days, the longer you go for, usually sirtuin pathways begin to become activated, usually about 36 hours into your fast. So if you want to accelerate your aging process, you probably need to eat around the clock and have lots of snack in between. So if that's your aim, fine. But if you want to actually slow down aging, you want to start practicing fasting, going for prolonged periods without food, 18 hours a day, 3 days, 5 days, and I promise you, you will not die. You will actually leave the fast stronger, because what happens is when you fast, your body has to scavenge itself for food, and your body seems to have an affinity to go for those old, damaged, and devitalized tissues. So whenever you fast, your body will break down those old skin cells, those old liver cells, those old muscle cells. And when you eat, it replaces them with new cells. When you fast, your stem cell levels go up. And so we know the fasting also benefits persons who are maybe in that stem cell kind of theory. Exercise another way, strength training exercise, aerobic exercise will actually increase your NAD levels. And so exercise is a necessary part of, staying younger, especially for your brain. It is said that every hour exercise will add 3 hours to your life. And acute stress, nobody likes stress, but acute stress actually helps you. It may help you to meet a deadline, but it actually helps to make you live longer. So a little bit of stress in your life every now and then, that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. That's how, we developed as human beings. For hunter-gatherers, chased by lions and giraffes and, hyenas are across the savannah, and eventually were chased by each other. And those acute short-term stress seems to make us more resilient, but actually turn on the sirtuin pathways by increasing NAD levels. Chronic stress, however, going on for weeks and months is actually bad for you, and that will actually drop your NAD levels. So the stress has to be kept within a certain time frame, can't be too prolonged. And there are a couple of supplements that you can take to actually boost your NAD levels and thus reverse the aging process. One of them is NMN, which is nicotine mononucleotide, and other one is NR, which is nicotinamide riboside. So nicotinamide mononucleotide and nicotinamide riboside. These are two supplements. The one that is starred, nicotinamide riboside, is available on Amazon for $50. And people who have been taking this have been saying, boy, yes, I'm running a little longer, I'm having more energy. So this is another area that people are actually using these supplements in and benefiting. I'm going on now to the last theory of aging, and this is quite interesting. Who you're seeing on screen here now is Dr. Elizabeth Blackburn. Sure, maybe you've never heard of her, but she's an amazing woman, a pioneer. Around her neck is the evidence of her Nobel Prize. She got the Nobel Prize in medicine in 2009. So this is no small thing. This is a big thing, a lifetime of work to discover telomeres and the telomerase enzyme, which explains in great detail a lot of the things that happen during aging. And she has proposed a mechanism by which we can actually slow the process down. So just to go a little bit of the science, guys, telomeres are short segments of DNA at the end of your chromosomes. And we think they actually protect your genes. And as you get older and the cells divide, your telomeres get shorter. So when you're born with about 15,000 base pairs of telomeres. And when your telomere length reach about 5,000, no matter what age you are, you die. You cannot survive with a telomere length less than 5,000 base pairs. So we can look at your telomeres and predict when you're going to die. We can look at how fast you lose them and predict when you're going to die. And there are things you can do to accelerate breaking your telomeres down. And you don't have to guess too much to figure out what those things are. And there are things you can do to lengthen your telomeres. So guys, to make your telomeres longer and to preserve your telomeres, of course, is the same thing again. Adequate amount of vitamin D, eating folate-rich food, which is going to be your greens, eating fiber-rich foods, adequate amount of exercise, and keeping your stress level low. Now, I'm going to touch on stress a little bit because I've found that most of the people I find who live into their 90s and over 100 in good health are persons who, somebody is still in my room making up noise. Who is this now? Oliver Mullings, you need to mute, sir. Okay. Tina, mute. Erica Hyman, mute. Okay. All right. So stress, guys. So I was saying that all the people I know who live into their 9th and 10th decade in good health, they all have a particular trait that I've observed. They don't worry much. They take life very easy. They usually give a lot of jokes. They're always happy and they live simple lives. They're not necessarily the richest persons. They don't necessarily have a lot of things, but they live simple lives and they are always happy and lighthearted. They forgive easily. They don't harbor people in their hearts. They don't carry a grudge for long. I have interviewed many such persons because I've heard this a long time, and I make it my point of duty to ask them about, their approach to life and conflict resolution and, why their marriages last so long and so on. And guys, it is universal. These people are lighthearted. So you might want to think about, developing that trait as part of your longevity toolkit. It actually works beautiful. Now, if perhaps you don't want to live long, you want to die by 60 and you want to shorten your telomeres, there are some things that we could recommend for you to do and do them regularly. You probably want to have lots of sugar in your diet, as you can see here. You can develop hypertension and diabetes and lots of infections. STIs are probably highly recommended here. Get lots of injuries, expose yourself to lots of toxins, colorings, and flavorings in foods. Maybe smoke. Maybe get upset often and get angry and throw a tantrum very often. And definitely, follow a lifestyle that doesn't include lots of sleep. And all of these things will coalesce to make sure that you age very fast. So just in case you want to age fast, that's what you do. Here's an interesting thought that I'm going to close with though before I bring on my next speaker. The telomeres theory has got me personally thinking. So these are my thoughts, guys. I did not read this anywhere in a book. So Genesis chapter 3 and 22 says, the Lord said, behold, the man is become as one of us to know good and evil, and now lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. So he drove out the man and he placed him at the east side of the Garden of Eden, cherubims and a flaming sword which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. So this little passage from Genesis points out to us that it was the tree of life that provided a fruit which had something in it that caused man to live forever. And after he sinned, God didn't want him to live forever, so God restricted his access to this tree and to the fruit. And so guess what, guys? People have been searching. There are people actively searching now the planet for the nutrient or the vitamin or the supplement that will activate your telomerase enzyme and cause us to again live forever. And so there is, in fact, lots of research going on for telomerase activators, because there is, there is the thought that maybe something was in that tree, which was in that fruit, that caused man to live forever. So we think there may be a vitamin somewhere. Of course, I don't think that will ever be found. In addition to this, in Genesis 6 and verse 3, guys, the Lord said, my spirit will not always contend with humans forever, for they are mortal. Their days will be 120 years. So after just before the flood, guys, man was basically very wicked and evil. The earth was overrun with evil, and the Lord decided to wipe the earth clean, but to limit man's lifespan. Now, there's a theory of mine here now. God is the ultimate scientist. So based on what I've seen so far, it may be that God deliberately shortened our telomeres to make us live only a certain length of time. So as of now, no human being can live beyond 120. We have not found that yet. And this is very much explained by the telomerase theory of aging. So man's advance in science is coming so far that we're explaining things that, we thought was just supernatural. But God is in fact a scientist, the greatest one. He performed, the first anesthesia on Adam. He performed cloning by taking Adam and making Eve. And we are seeing now where, our restriction in terms of how long we live is actually genetic. God programmed that into our DNA, but some presumptuous people are now thinking, how can we reverse this? I just want to add a few years to my life and add maybe a little more health. So on that basis, we will, practice all the things that, I have taught you, and there's more that I could teach you, but there is a basis for eating vegetables, eating fruits, exercising, sleeping properly, managing your stress. We have proven that these things actually can influence how fast you age and how well you age. We can't live forever, not on this earth, but certainly we can live for a long time and be of benefit to our fellow men, and that's my aim. So I'm going to end here and turn over back to my moderator. Hopefully our second presenter is ready, and at the end we will take your questions.
Thank you so much, Dr. Thomas. You are true to your timing. We're actually 2 minutes under, so that is fantastic. We learned from that presentation, we learned about 3 theories on aging. You talked about free radicals, of course, sirtuin, increasing our NAD levels, and then, of course, the telomerase theory with telomerase enzyme. At this time, we are going to have our second speaker. We have invited, her name is Dr. Shex Emmanuel. Dr. Shex is online, and I'm hoping that she is ready to go. So Dr. Shex Emmanuel is a highly accomplished nutritionist, over 25 years of experience in the field. She holds a Bachelor of Science degree and a Master's of Science degree in Food and Nutrition from the University of Nigeria. She also holds a Doctor of Philosophy, a PhD in Food and Nutrition. Dr. Emmanuel has been a lecturer at several universities and other higher education institutions where she has shared her expertise on nutrition and wellness lifestyle. She has also authored journals on the subject. In addition to the academic work, Dr. Emmanuel, presenter on healthy living lifestyle, a passion for nutrition and wellness is evident in her work, and she is committed to helping people healthier life. Today, she's actually going to speak to us on the topic. Let me get my topic here for you, make sure that there are no errors. Our topic is basically lifestyle and our memory. Dr. Shex Emmanuel, I'll hand over to you. Are you ready for us?
Yeah. Good afternoon,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Right now, it's about the midnight here, about 1 p.m. 1 a.m. here.
1 a.m.
Very late for me, but I made effort to be here this evening or this afternoon for you. So, like you rightly heard, I'll be talking about how to improve our memory. And I'm happy my colleague has just done justice to that by mentioning some lifestyle changes that we need to take to in order to be healthy. I just want to quickly say that, yes, all of us forget things, and the tendency to forget things is very, very common with humans. And that is can we mute our devices, please? Yes. We all have the tendency to forget things, and that is natural with humans. However, we are talking about when loss of memory has started to impact in our daily activities, when it begins to affect us, that we forget the names of people that matters in our life, we forget the basic activities or events we need to engage in. So that is when it becomes a cause for concern. And so when these issues begins to occur, it's a condition that is called amnesia, which is generally described as memory loss, when we always forget the activities we engage in or even the basic things we need to remember. And so there are so many things that could cause this loss of memory. And like my colleague mentioned, lifestyle. What is your lifestyle like? What type of food do you eat? Yes, we are going to talk about these things that are capable of causing memory loss, and it becomes a prolonged problem. Some of those things are medication, the medication we take. On this platform, we advocate healthy lifestyle, and of course, we advocate natural therapy, because natural therapy is compatible with the human body, and it is always addressing the cells on the cellular level. We know that the human body, the anatomy of the body, the cells is the smallest unit of the human body. And so anything that can regenerate the cells, improve the cells, can always improve the tissue and improve the organ and the system. Of course, the whole body will be healthy. So as much as possible, we need to avoid those things that are capable of degenerating the cells, causing cells to deteriorate. And I have mentioned drugs, medication. Then other things are health conditions like thyroid disorder, overactive thyroid or underactive thyroid could also cause memory issue. High blood pressure is another problem that can also affect our mental health. And of course, when we do not have the required sleep quality, yes, we know about sleeping for at least 7, 8, 9 hours as adults. But again, we need quality sleep. Sometimes people sleep for that long without getting the right quality sleep and allowing the body to pass through the 3 stages of sleep, which enables the body to regenerate. So if the system is not having enough quality sleep, the brain cells has the tendency to degenerate. So we need to ensure that our environment is conducive for sleep. And of course, we reduce exposure to radiation. Yes, all of us are swimming in the ocean of radiation. And most time, we do not understand the impact radiation can have on our body. Right now, we are making use of the internet and we are communicating. You are able to hear me because of the internet, the Wi-Fi, and these are all carried along through the waves. So radiation is hitting the cells every day, and that is a very big free radical that damages the cells. Of course, I know that most of us are conversant with quantum energy. If you have heard about quantum energy, can I see a reaction on, let me know those of us that are conversant with quantum energy, because it has been discovered that it's a therapy that helps to ward off radiation effects from harming the cells. So can I get the feedback?
You
If you
got,
have
you're going 20.
quantum
Me
energy,
get 20.
okay, can I see your reaction? Raise your hands if you have heard about quantum energy. Okay, let me just share my slide. Okay.
Doc, I don't think you'll be able to share.
Okay, okay, all right. Okay,
Only
you've
one
shown it.
host.
All right. Thank you so much. So that is quantum energy. Thank you. So quantum energy has been discovered by scientists to have the ability to mop up radiation. Okay, let's talk a little about that, because a lot of persons' brain cells have been damaged due to exposure to radiation. And so these individuals are having brain damage due to the radiation hitting the brain cells on a daily basis. So scientists have discovered anti-radiation gadgets that can help to ward off the effect of this radiation that is damaging the cells. And so no matter the nutrition, no matter what we eat, the exercise, and then we expose the body to this radiation, it has negative impact on the cells. So there are so many gadgets we can use. We have an anti-radiation phone sticker that you can use on your phone, and that will help to mop up this radiation effect from your body. Then, as you see on the slide, my colleague, the doctor, talked about telomerase, and I'm happy to show you the telomerase machine that has the ability to activate the telomere, which is the enzyme that helps in regeneration of cells. So this machine is a telomerase activating machine that makes the telomere, instead of shortening the telomerase, it will it will enhance the length and enable the cellular regeneration. So this machine is a phototherapy machine that comes with different lights, about 7 lights. And so when you use it on the head region, it helps to rejuvenate the brain cells, enhance the brain rejuvenation, and of course, it can be used on any part of the body. As you can see on the other picture, you can see a lady using it on her. Yes, it can be used on any part of the body, the head, the tummy, the legs, for different conditions. People that have arthritic condition will place it on the knee, and it will regenerate the cells at that point. People that have issue with the brain, loss of memory, they place it on the head, and it helps in cellular regeneration. So this machine has been discovered by scientists to actually activate the telomerase enzyme, which God endowed in us naturally to help in cellular regeneration. So again, I want to talk about the diet. Doctor highlighted diet. There are several foods that can help to regenerate the brain cells. These foods are rich in antioxidants. I want to mention some of them. Food like beans, avocado. We have food like berries, different kinds of berries. These fruits have powerful antioxidants, phenolic compounds that helps in regenerating the brain cells. We have also coffee, turmeric, broccoli, pumpkin seed, dark chocolate, nuts. These are very, very powerful because they help in giving the body the right antioxidants that are essential for cellular regeneration. And we encourage people to use them on a daily basis. Ensure that you eat the rainbow diet, different colors of fruits, the purple, the green, the orange, the different varieties of color. All this has powerful antioxidants that helps in cellular renewal. And that helps, of course, in brain cell development. Then again, I want to mention that fasting was highlighted by the first speaker. And I want to say that fasting for 3 days is recommended to improve health. Please, can you highlight that? Yeah, the chart on fasting. Thank you. Yeah, so you can see the chart that helps to show what happens at different stages of our fasting. Yes, when you fast from day one, you activate different switches in the body. And just like you can see on the screen, from 0 to 12 hours of starting your fast, the insulin is at its peak at that point, and the food is still digesting. Then at stage 1, which is 12 hours to 18 hours of our fasting, we begin to burn the fat in the adipose tissue, in the visceral region, and of course, insulin level drops because the food is no longer digesting. There is no more food in the gastrointestinal system. Then stage 2, which is between the hours of 18 to 24 hours, ketosis begin and glucagon rises. Yes, glucagon is that hormone that is produced by the pancreas when there is starvation, when the body is deprived of food. God made it possible that the body can activate the production of this hormone during starvation because this hormone helps in breaking down the already existing fat in the body that causes a lot of problem, even brain clogging. And so when you take the fasting to stage 3, which is 24 hours to 48 hours, which is 2 days, then autophagy begins and brain cleaning. The brain begins to clear itself of those fatty tissues that causes foggy brain, forgetfulness, or loss of memory. And you notice that you are feeling better, your mental alertness is improved. And so as you take the fasting to stage 4, which is between 48 hours to 54 hours, you see that human growth hormone surges up. At this point, the cells are rejuvenating, renewing. You have switched on that switch for regeneration of new cells, and inflammation falls. So if there is any pain or ache you have anywhere, at this stage, those aches goes down. And then we have stage 5, which is between the hours of 54 to 72 hours. At this point, insulin sensitizing takes place. So people that have insulin resistant issues, this stage takes care of this problem, and autophagy is at its peak at this point. So we recommend 3 days fasting to enable you to create that atmosphere for the body to clean itself of any form of foggy brain that leads to forgetfulness or low performance of the brain cells. And of course, we also advocate proper hydration. We need about 3 liters of water on a daily basis. 3 liters of water enables the cells to be properly hydrated. And so what is the quality of water you drink? We recommend alkaline water. I am happy that some of us here know about Kangen water, which is an alkaline water that is recommended for proper cellular hydration. If we take quality water, it enables the cells to absorb the water and get hydrated. But if the water quality is not functional, then we drink the water and the water runs off from the system. Within 30 minutes of our drinking water, we feel like excreting the water because the cells have not utilized the water. So proper hydration, in addition with all other lifestyle changes we have mentioned, will help in improving our brain cells and improving our memory. So friends, we encourage you to eat right, healthy diet, ensure you exercise, just like the first speaker mentioned, and make sure you drink quality alkaline water. And of course, use the quantum telomerase machine to improve and enhance the cellular regeneration in the body. And that will help you to be at your peak in your mental ability and your mental alertness. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Emmanuel, for joining us at 1 a.m. In the underworld in Nigeria. Thank you so very much. So guys, I'm sure you would have heard something that resonated with you. For me, of course, I see that fasting not only helped me to look and feel younger, it also will help me with my memory. I think that is awesome. So to continue after that presentation, we're going to go into our 15 minutes of question time. And I can see that Sandra Davis has her hand up. Sandra, do you want to go ahead?
Yes, please. A pleasant good evening and thanks for the information. But I have a problem, you see, because I hate to lose weight. I haven't fasted for a long time. No, I'm losing a lot of weight. I maintain my diet on fruit, vegetables. I hardly eat meat. So I need more education. I do a lot of berries, smoothie berries. So I'm saying, what is happening here? I listen to my doctor speaking about the I'm really like the anti-aging thing. I try to keep up my diet, but I want to know what I don't like to lose weight. Why am I losing weight so much? I'm 63 now, March coming. But I don't do fasting. I haven't done fasting in a long while. What could be happening? And I mean, I'm losing the weight over past 5. I lose like 20 pounds.
So we're waiting for the question, though, Sandra. What's the question? You want to know? I just want to get the question.
So Tamara, so Sandra, so I'll answer your question, but I'll say before I answer the questions, guys, keep the questions related to the topic that we're discussing. This question is a little bit outside the topic, Sandra, but weight loss beyond age 50 can be due to a number of reasons. So there are hormonal problems like thyroid that we need to check for. We need to check to make sure that there's no other disease process happening in your body. You may be having problems with absorption and digestion. So it's a little difficult just to ask a question like that and get a definitive answer. You might have to do a few tests to see why you're losing weight. But on topic here, fasting would definitely help with your anti-aging goals. Weight loss from fasting. If you don't want to lose weight permanently, you can fast for a few days and then eat back food to put back the weight on. But you would need a few tests, Sandra, to see why you're losing weight. It's difficult for me to just give you the exact answer just off the bat, right? So next time you see me, we can talk about that, all right?
All right, because I wanted was to stop these diets, because I'm on these kind of diet now. So I was wondering, is it why we need to eat more dumplings and all of that?
Well, if you want to live long and healthy, then you want to avoid the dumplings and so on. But Sandra, the last time I saw you, look very well to me. It didn't look like you were suffering from malnutrition. It didn't look too slim. I don't know why you want to be fat and round. But be that as it may, the diet you describe may assist with some weight loss. So yes, you may want to eat more, but not eat the wrong things. So eat more of your smoothies, eat more of your veggies, more of your fruits, and so on. So we could talk about it, but doing some tests might be appropriate. But eating a few more calories in the right direction, might be helpful also. But please don't go back to dumpling. You leave that behind a long time.
All right. Thank you.
Oliver Williams for the next question. Oliver, go ahead, please.
Oliver Mullins.
Mullins, sorry.
The way out.
Oliver Mullins, you're muted.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
Good night, Doc. I have a problem with the alkaline water because I've been on other Zoom meeting, which I won't really call any name, and they say that alkaline water is not good for the body. But the doctor is saying here now that the alkaline water is good. So I'm confused here.
Yeah, Dr. Emmanuel, you want to take that one?
Okay, thank you. All right. You know, if you know the pH of the human body, you know that the pH of the body is about 7.35 to 7.45, which is alkaline. And if you take note, you notice that most of our diet leads the body to acidosis. Most food we eat, like the carbohydrate, when it is metabolized in the body, keeps the body in an acidic medium. And so alkaline water is very, very ideal to help in reducing acidosis in the body, because most of the diseases and degenerative disorders we have today is linked to acidosis and also lack of other conditions like lack of oxygen, you know, and excess sugar in the body. So if you ensure that you take alkaline water, that is one step to getting better health. However, we have different categories of alkalinity. For people that have different conditions, there are people that take extreme alkaline water, like we have 11.5 alkaline. Those ones are recommended for people that have serious chronic disease like cancer. So, but if you do not have any of such chronic diseases, alkalinity of 8.5, 9.5 is ideal for you to help in reducing the acidosis in the body and making the body to maintain the homeostasis that is required for optimal performance. So you need it. Doctor?
Would you like to? Thank you so much, Dr. Emmanuel. Dr. Thomas, would you like to add anything?
No, nothing to add.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Okay, well, any other hands? We're waiting to see those hands come up. We still have a little bit more time committed for question period. Oh, Nad. So we have Nad. Nad, go ahead with your question, please.
Good evening, everyone. I unfortunately missed the first part of the meeting, but just wanted to quickly ask, would acidity in my body contribute to osteoarthritis?
No. Dr. Thomas, you'll take that, or Dr. Emmanuel?
Dr. Emmanuel could go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, acidity in the body can lead to so many diseases. For instance, osteoarthritis is always caused when the body has a lot of uric acid, and accumulation of uric acid in the joints leads to degeneration of the ligaments and the bone tissue, and that could also cause a lot of pains. So acidosis is a culprit that should be avoided because it can cause a number of degenerative diseases, including osteoarthritis.
Yeah, generally there are some foods that are classified as acidic foods, and they tend to be foods that are high in carbohydrates, high in sugar, and tend to cause inflammation. So they would be aggravating, and in some cases may even trigger arthritis and arthritic conditions and pain conditions. So, so guys, you could just search on the internet to see what foods are classified as acidic, and you try to reduce those foods as much as possible. You can't avoid them because there are some good acidic foods. And then there are some foods classified as alkaline, and then those foods might be anti-inflammatory generally because they tend to be more vegetables. And so your balance should be towards eating foods that are classified as less acidic. The classification system is somewhat hazy. Not all of it is very scientific. A lot of it may be just arbitrary. So generally speaking, I see, as I said, foods that are sugary and sweet and carbohydrate rich and high in fat and processed foods being described as acidic or having an acidic impact on the body. So that classification generally would make you want to eat foods that are more alkaline in that classification. That's how I would advise you.
Thank you ever so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Thomas. We then have Vivian. Vivian, could you go ahead, please? Unmute your mic for your question.
Good night. I came on late, but I just want to ask this one question. The alkaline water, because you have so many different water out there, which one would you recommend?
So why am I doing the coconut and bees?
Dr.
Say
Emmanuel?
that again?
Okay,
Dr.
you want to
Emmanuel?
know recommended alkaline water, right?
Yes, that's what she's asking.
Okay, there is this machine, I'm sure Dr. Thomas has it. It's called a Kangen machine made from Japan that helps in producing alkaline water through electrolysis. That machine is very, very, has been tested and proven over the years for producing high quality antioxidant water. It not only produces alkaline water, it also helps to produce active hydrogen water, which confers high antioxidant potential to the water. So when you take the water, it also helps to mop up free radical in the system. So it is not just alkaline, it's very, very high in antioxidant potential. In fact, the antioxidant potential tends to get to minus 800, meaning that it has a capacity as antioxidant. The way the vegetables we eat, the fruits we eat has antioxidant potential. So that helps the body to clean off free radicals that are generated on a daily basis in the system. And that is a very powerful anti-aging therapy for the cells and of course for the mental health.
Yeah, well, I don't actually have a machine. I know of the machine. I've heard of the Kangen machine and how it works. And there's some research from Japan and a couple of places about the effects of alkaline water. Where hydrogen is concerned, that's probably a little more well-researched, to be honest, in our side of the world. And adding molecular hydrogen to water has been used in cancer treatment and in various other types of therapy to reduce free radicals and oxidation in the body. So there are machines and sometimes simple machines too. Sometimes I've even seen a cup the other day on Facebook being sold that's supposed to, add molecular hydrogen to your water. I've been checking it out, thinking of maybe getting one because it was highly recommended at a cancer conference that I went. A couple of speakers did highlight their research into the area of adding hydrogen to water and the effects that they have seen with, anti-aging and reducing and treating cancers. Generally speaking about alkaline water, I am a little on the fence, to be honest, if I should come clean. I do understand acidity and alkalinity, but generally from my clinical experience, I've seen patients, despite what they eat, maintain a blood pH of between 7.34 and 7.44. So the pH of the blood doesn't change much regardless of what you eat. And if it changes, you're in serious trouble and you probably get admitted. So the idea that drinking some type of water might change your blood pH somewhat is not something that I've seen or we have seen in clinical practice. In fact, there are different pH fluids in your body. So for example, inside your mouth, it might be near to neutral. Inside your stomach, it's actually quite acidic. pH in the stomach is actually 1, 1.5 to 2, quite acidic in your stomach. As it gets to your duodenum, it changes again to alkaline. Your urine is supposed to be acidic. Your blood pH is alkaline. So there are different pHs in the body, and they are supposed to be that way. Adding alkaline water, for example, to your stomach, there might be, some people who would say, that may be diluting the acid in your stomach and preventing digestion. So I'm not totally sold, Dr. Emmanuel, on the alkaline water and how it impacts the body. But as I said, I do try to observe what foods are classified as acidic, which generally are harmful, and avoid them, and observe what foods are alkaline and try to eat more of those. That's generally where I'm at right now, based on my understanding.
Thank you
It's
so much.
fine.
We
It's
just
okay. Thank you.
All right,
Okay,
Patrick
thank you,
has his
Dr.
hand up.
Emmanuel. Yeah, Patrick, I think you are going to, it's the final question for tonight. Go ahead, Patrick.
I really found both presentations very informative. Just a quick one, I want to find out a little further, and I was also quite intrigued by the quantum telomeric device. Just wanted to find out some further reading on it. What's the actual name of that machine, that device that I think was mentioned by Dr. Orlando?
Well, it was Dr. Emmanuel that mentioned it. Let me see. Dr. Emmanuel, I'm not seeing a name on the slides you sent. Seeing
This is quantum energy telomerase activation machine.
Quantum. Could you repeat that, please?
Yes, that's the quantum energy activating telomerase machine. That is the name. It has quantum energy. At the same time, it also activates the telomerase enzyme. Naturally, God endowed the body with telomerase that activate telomere in the body for enhancing regeneration of cells. Just like Doctor mentioned, at certain points, the telomere shortens and can no longer replicate. So this machine helps to confer that ability for it to be extended and keep regenerating. So it not only have that activating power, it also has quantum energy infused in the machine. So you are getting dual benefit from the machine. Quantum energy is conferred to the cells, and at the same time, the telomeres are being activated.
Okay, so that the quantum energy activating telomeric
machine, yeah.
Telomeric?
Telomerase.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you very much. That's our last question. You're welcome, Patrick. So thank you very much. That's our last question for tonight. It has been
Vivian has her hand up. Vivian, did they ask her question already?
She did. Vivian did ask her question already. Yeah.
Okay.
So we just want to thank everyone for joining us for tonight's learning adventure. Remember about memory. You remember about how your lifestyle affecting that particular how you eat with regards to keeping young, trying to stay clear of free radicals, not only in what we eat, but also increasing our NAD through fasting and watching what we eat, and watching also our sirtuin. So thank you everyone for joining us, and have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye now.
Bye everyone, and thank you, Dr. Emmanuel, for joining us all the way from Nigeria. We are remarkably grateful to you for staying up late. And guys, most of the audience is from Jamaica, but some people are from England, some are joining us from USA, Canada, and so on. So I'm remarkably proud of what we have achieved, guys. We are now stretching our wings across the entire length and breadth of the world and bringing experts, as you can see, from various areas to share and to learn from and for us to grow and to share some of what we have here in the Caribbean. So have a wonderful evening, guys. We'll be here again next month, second Sabbath, second Saturday, every single month. We'll be here for a seminar, of course. We'll be getting those regular videos. And Dr. Emmanuel, I'll be collaborating with her hopefully to get a few videos out as we share more of what we have learned over the years. Good night.
Thank you so much, Dr. Thomas. My pleasure to be here.
Okay, take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Good night. Hold on there.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. You too. Have a great night.
Same to you.
Night, good night.
Why not? You just touch my sit. I didn't know if that one again.
Stop here to chat.
Excuse
Bye.
me. Excuse
Night.
me, doctor. Can we get tonight's recording, sir?
Right.
It wasn't recorded, but it will be on YouTube. So you go to my YouTube channel and it'll be there. You can watch it anytime you want, including this part you're asking now. It's still streaming live. So go to my YouTube channel and you will be able to see it. Okay?
So thanks.
Yeah, wait a minute. And